What is up, and welcome back to another episode of Uncle Rico's Storytime. This is like episode 61, I believe, something like that. I'm going to call it 61 and a half because I tried to do a podcast a couple of days ago and was just so retarded drunk. It was pretty much just me, squinty eyed, starting to tell a story and then going, yeah, that's not funny. For some reason, I decided it was a good idea to come home and drink a huge White Russian without ice. Just a pint glass of White Russian. I can't believe that was originally going to be my concept. My first concept was originally, because I can get hammered and still, talk and make sense. But my first concept was to get drunk and stoned, and it was going to be more interviews. I wanted to interview the outcasts of society, but that was going to be my concept. And the first time that I did it and then watched it, I'm like, this is the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. Like, he's just a stupid drunk guy, like, rambling on and on. No, I'm just a stupid sober guy rambling on and on. I did a couple of parts were kind of humorous. I might edit it up and attach it after this podcast. But I lost a teammate, and it's been tough. And we finally had a celebration of life. I still am all brain mushy. Had a VA eval for my back to try to increase my disability for my back, and it was out in West Phoenix, which is a ways away from where I live, and I had met a girl out there, so I was trying to time it up and take her out for coffee, and she's a single mom. So I was trying to be like real detail oriented. She said, yeah, we can do this, but it's got to be early. And I said, that's fine. My appointment is until 10, but I'd rather get out there early because of rush hour. I can be out there 6, 7 o'clock, whatever. And she's like, well, I'll get him off to school and then give you a call. And I'm like, okay, yeah, no problem. Thinking 8, 9 o'clock. So I'm driving out there and filled up my truck, started driving out there. My back was all fucked up, so I didn't want to sit in my small truck, so I came back, switched it out, grabbed my big truck, filled that up with gas, started out there, and besides this brain mush that I had with my teammate passing, I had it when my stepdad passed also, but I'm forgetting shit, like major shit. Like I'm checking things over and over again and then fucking up the time or fucking up the date. I had this eval and I kept saying it was 11 o'clock, and then I'm like, is it 11 o'clock? Because I'm driving out there. So I drive all the way back home to get the reservation info, the eval info letter, and I'm like, son of a bitch, it's 10 o'clock. So, doesn't affect this other girl, but I'm getting there not so early now. I figure if we meet for coffee 8:30, 9 o'clock or whatever, that's fine. And as I'm communicating to her, like, hey, this and that happened, should be there around 8:30-ish is what I texted her. And then she just kind of lost her shit. It wasn't like she was thinking... I don't know what it was, but she didn't respond. She stopped responding to my text, and then at like 9:15, she was like, "Where are you at? I'm ready. Let's hang." And I'm like, oh, I said I was gonna be here at 8:30. I've got this appointment now at 10. And she's like, "Oh, sorry, it didn't work out. Then best of luck." So I was like, okay, she's throwing a fit now. I've been more than upfront with her, keeping her upfront as to what time and everything. So I was just gonna blow it off, and then she sends me another picture of lingerie sitting on the bed, and I'm like, She's like, sorry, you're gonna miss this. And I was like, I thought we were just going out for coffee. And she responded with, well, you never know, winky face. And I was like, well, this eval is only an hour, it's right down the street. I'll be out at 11. And so I get done at 11. I was like, hey, what's up? You still around? Coffee? Or dot 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 winky face? Um, no response. And then, so I started driving home. I ran a quick errand, but I started driving home at like 11:30. Still no response. I was like, hey, I'm about to head, back home. Um, you know, and 15 minutes later, as I'm like all the way around town, she's like, well, I guess I'm just not worth your time then, or something like this. I'm like, okay, that's it. Enough red flags. So I'm done with that. Got to, you babies. Forgot the time my game time is. Oh, so this is fun. So at 8:30 when I got there and she wasn't responding to me, I went to go grab coffee. And there was a Starbucks close by, but I will not do that. And I preface this story that I don't think I've ever been not ashamed, but maybe embarrassed of a woman trying to sell herself sexually. That's not like objectifying herself. Like if you're gonna do it, great. Strippers, hookers, whatever. Respect. It's just a job. I never really felt bad about that at all until I went to a bikini bean in the ghetto. It was hard. They all had very positive attitudes, but it was hard. I felt bad. So that was an experience. Then I went to Denny's. That was another experience. So yeah, I got into the evaluation, hoping I can get a bump. My teammate's girlfriend, Shannon, gave me his ashes and said that he wouldn't want to be on a shelf, so I told her that I would start scattering his ashes on the rinks. And I was going to scatter his ashes before every game, right in front of my crease. But goaltending is so mental that, and I can't handle that stuff. I don't need that before a game. We had his tribute game, and I think I gave up 4 goals, but I wasn't in a good frame of mind. And then the other thing is it's not dusty. There's big rocks of them. So I put some rocks on, little tiny rocks, crack Greg. I put some Greg crack on the bench, and I scattered a bit of his dust at center ice, and instead I'm going to go to all the rinks around town and scatter him there, and then the rest of the rocks I'm going to take up to the mountain, my mountain land, and scatter them up there. And they put this little baggie of him in this like decorative heart thing that you can't get in and out. So I took him out of there and I put him in some old marijuana canisters that pop open, and I sifted him. Which was weird. Sifting a teammate, friend. Um, but I've got them in these little canisters, and I go to this arena where I used to skate, where we know the bartender, and we used to. That was the first place that me and Greg first skated. So I get there, and there's a college game going on. GCU skates there, and the GCU girls are playing Wyoming, and so I can't scatter them. But she's like, "What do you?" She's and I told her what I'm doing, and she's like, "What do you? Wait, you have them here?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but I don't want to show you." And she's like, "No, you have to show me." And I'm like, "No, I really don't want to show you because of what I did." And she's like, "No, you have to show me." And I'm like, "All right, well, this is my thinking." So I reach in my pocket, and I've got like this marijuana, this popped, this canister. And then inside is a pre-roll tube that I have his dust in and the rocks outside in this canister. So I showed her. She thinks I'm crazy, I'm sure. But then I start watching this Wyoming game, and I thought it was the end of the game because the shots on goal were 27-1, and the score was 3-0, which is impressive. But it was only the end of the first period. So I grab a drink and I start watching this game, and this goaltender from Wyoming is insane. GCU wasn't peppering her with shots, they were like controlling the puck and generating scoring chances on her. At the end of the second period, it was 53 or 48 shots on goal to 11. And the score was, I think, 4-0, maybe 5-0. But that second period, GCU actually got power plays. Normally in a blowout like that, you don't call the losing team too often on penalties because it just gets nasty. But they called 2 different power plays for the better team. So GCU held the puck in the zone for 2 full minutes each time, moved the puck around, and were getting like a pass down by the crease, sending it over to the other side for a one-timer, and she was there. Skaters circling in to the crease and going wide laterally across the crease is really tough for a goaltender, because not only are you trying to bridge the angle and close in that angle, but you don't want to lose where you are in the net. If you misjudge that, the shooter can have a wide open net. So those are extremely tough, at least I've found, to stop. And they were getting these swipe in, quick shot on one side, rebound over to the other side, and she was still there. It was amazing. I left and I told my bartender friend, I was like, it's probably going to get pretty nasty at this point, because she was tired. And, doing the stuff where she's leaning on her stick all the time, leaning on the pipes, and, taking her stick as a crutch to get up. Like, she was gassed. And I think my bartender told me that she faced 60-some shots, 65 shots, and gave up 8. She gave up a few in the third period. But impressive. And I tried to pull up on Google, I tried to pull up the roster and couldn't find her on there. So I pulled up last year. The 2 girls that were goaltending last year are gone. And I figured I'd go the next night and ask about her and everything, but I think I was pretty well hungover, so that never happened. But yeah, hockey's going good. Fantasy football is not going good, but that's alright, because I'm in a league of 12 of my buddies, and it's awesome because every game I play one of my friends or my old Navy teammates or buddy back home, or so that's pretty cool. But yeah, other than that, just trying to trying to get through the brain mush. I will edit the drunken pre-podcast for this episode and attach it afterwards. I am in a state of flux over there here, if you haven't noticed. We're working on moving stuff around. I am working on audio and visual changes. I'm going to bring back the microphone, and we'll see how we do. But until then, yeah, I got nothing. Peace out. We are recording. Hello. Hi. Okay. Hello. I'm super drunk. It is September something. I'm drunk and stoned adequately. Oh my god. Okay, welcome to Uncle Rico's Storytime. I'm super drunk. I live next to a strip joint, and I never go over there. I mean, I go over there at the end of the night, but I don't go over there for dances. But holy smokes, I gotta dance tonight. You women. But not compared to the other one. The first one was both humility issues or opportunities. Hammer drunk. I don't know if any of this is salvageable, but if it is, share, like, and subscribe and do all that. Peace out.